Either we have laws and rights in this country or we don't. And people make the mistake of assuming that just because it's happening to those people, those immigrants, that it can't happen to them. But, history proves otherwise. I'm doing this not just to protect our immigrant neighbors. I'm doing this to protect everyone.
This is Craig. He's a volunteer for the LUCE Immigrant Justice Network. On a cold, rainy Monday morning in March, I hopped into the passenger seat of his car to observe one of the organization's initiatives aimed at keeping Framingham's immigrant community safe.
We're about to start a patrol. We're going to be looking for ICE operating in Framingham. If we see ICE, we're going to video record what's happening, try to identify who the person is who's being abused and abducted by the ICE agents, and then try to get support and aid to their family so that their rights are protected to the best of our ability.
Craig is on LUCE's Framingham street team. His patrol starts around 6 in the morning, which he says is also when ICE operations typically begin. During these early morning hours, ICE is usually targeting people on their way to work or school.
A lot of times family members, they've said goodbye to their loved one because they're going off to work, and they never come home. Just think about that.
ICE detainments are more frequent in some areas of Framingham than others. Large apartment complexes like this one typically experience a high volume.
Last Wednesday, there was a violent abduction in this complex, and a person had to be taken by the ICE agents to the emergency room at Framingham Union.
Another highly targeted area is downtown Framingham.
So we're on Hollis Street right now. This area has been heavily targeted by ICE because there are a lot of Brazilian businesses here. Rosa's Salon here, right just behind us. Rosa has been a member of this community for 30 years. And she was opening up her salon one morning and ICE grabbed her and one of her clients, hardly a criminal, somebody just operating a business, somebody apparently very much beloved in the Brazilian community. And from what I understand, she's back in Brazil now after being here for 30 years.
And finally, the place where we consistently found the highest volume of ICE vehicles was around the Framingham District Court on Concord Street.
There it is, yep. That's an ICE vehicle right there with a privacy plate.
ICE vehicles typically have no front license plate and a privacy cover on the rear plate. These vehicles were all parked within a couple blocks of the courthouse. Craig says this is where ICE agents wait out to detain people who are tending to various legal matters in the building.
Yep, that's ICE. To me, this is predatory, right? ICE knows that people here may have some issue and it can justify whatever they want to do. To me, that's completely predatory and it undermines our justice system. So this is particularly concerning to me.
One person contacted LUCE from inside the courthouse looking for help getting home. Here's what ensued.
So there was a person at the courthouse that was concerned. They were able to get a ride. The ICE agents followed the person giving them the ride, pulled them over, and took the person out of the car and detained them. And it happens very fast.
That was not the only ICE detainment of the day. It was later confirmed that 3 more took place across the city.
They'll usually, to avoid the traffic on Concord, they'll come out Pearl Street. There they are. Dodge Charger heading west on Pearl Street. Here comes the Altima. Altima heading west on Pearl Street. Both vehicles turning right. All 3 ICE vehicles are heading north on 126 over Route 9. They're going to turn right and they're going to go to the Turnpike and head towards Burlington. This might be the end of the shit show for the day.
Craig estimates that every week in Framingham, about 1 to 2 people on average are detained by ICE. On this particular Monday, double that volume took place in one single day.
So the bad news is that they took maybe as many as 5 people so far today. We think we saw some of the ICE vehicles leave and head towards Burlington, where they will process all of the people they detained thus far. The good news is that with at least 2 of the people being detained, we have their information and we can be in contact with their families.
In addition to alerting their family members of the detainment, organizations like LUCE and Metro West Workers Center help provide bond money and legal support, including filing a habeas corpus. This allows detainees to challenge their detention and petition for release. They also offer food distribution, accompaniment to appointments, and rides to school for students, among other services. At a time when the immigrant community is under increased distress, LUCE and Metro West Workers Center have become Framingham's first line of defense against ICE injustice.
The fact that we can help people is what keeps me going. It's, if we were not out here, the outcomes for all of these people would have been much worse. So that's what keeps you going.
To learn more, visit lucemass.org or mwc-casa.org.